Everybody, this is Ku5ogrande, the Bad Video Game Tournament. I am here getting ready for the last match of the day. Let's go ahead, without any further ado, move on over to the reveal of our Game Master. The last one of the day, well, that's okay. You know him, you love him. It's probably Genesis. And we've got Mike Uyama. Come on in.
Hello, hello.
Oh my gosh, Mike. Good to have you here. I do know that there's been news lately with GDQ and such, SGDQ being pushed back, but there is a coronavirus marathon going on fairly soon.
Correct. That's going to be in 2 weeks.
I submitted for that too, Mike. So
I'm sure you have. We're actually going through submissions right now. I'm actually dodging you right now. We're shirking responsibility.
Oh my gosh, don't tell them that, okay? Chat, I hope Twitch chat can keep a secret, okay?
I'm sure all 447 of you can keep a secret. No, I already told them.
Be quiet. No. Be quiet, chat. Mike, what game do we have today?
So you weren't wrong about the Genesis part, because we have a Ku5ogrande classic, and that is you could say it's from a Ku5 comic. I've never really heard anything much about this comic, and it is Ex-Mutants.
Yeah, Ex-Mutants. They were once mutants, but now aren't? Are they mutants, Mike? Like, I don't know.
From what little I've been able to read about, it appears that they are mutants. These are like humans who survived a nuclear apocalypse, and they're the Ex-Mutants, which makes them stronger. And it's all about surviving and repopulating the world after nuclear apocalypse. And yeah, okay. It's just as trashy as you expect in some parts. I won't go into too much detail, but if you try to look up the comic online and see some images, you'll see what I mean.
Okay.
It is worth noting that Malibu Comics eventually split off as Image Comics, and while Image Comics they're a fairly well-respected like indie publisher now, back when they started, they were known for being that Liefeld comic label, and yeah, let's just say Image was very fitting for its name.
Oh, I love it.
And Carol is right. Malibu was bought by Marvel.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
And the comic, like, just from the art, just screams like late 80s, like early to mid 90s, like comic stereotypes. Like,
yeah, I can see that.
Comic books generally have like exaggerated perfect physiques in general, but like the 90s like took it really overboard.
The 90s took a lot of things overboard, Mike.
Yeah. Extreme! Rawr! They didn't want to name them Extreme Mutants, but, you know, they just couldn't, so they settled with Ex-Mutants.
I love it. Like, that was probably a bad idea, though, because it sounds like they used to be mutants, but aren't.
Oh, just out of curiosity, whose audio are you using? Because everyone's... Okay. Everyone's audio should be good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's highly appreciated. If needed, I can change some of the audio between different players. You know, usually audio works fine until somebody's stream starts dying, in which case I sometimes need to change. It's rare, but it happens. So, Mike, I've been able to put this together since you've been GMing, especially. You're a pretty big comic fan.
Yeah, on and off. I mean, I will read comics here and there. I wouldn't say like I read them all the time, but I definitely do, read them more than the average person.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
So I would say yes.
I never really got into comic books, and that was unfortunate. Like, my idea of comic books was the Garfield books. The Garfield manga,
Garfield manga.
You might say.
You know,
Very important reading.
the adventures of hating Mondays and getting lasagna.
Oh, yeah, exactly, Mike. Like, it's not even a joke, though. Like, literally, that's what I thought they were. Comic books.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's plenty of, comic books that are not much better than Garfield or worse than Garfield, so...
Well, I'm just thinking, Mike, probably when I told people when I was young that I like comic books, they're probably thinking, oh yeah, Spider-Man, good stuff. But I'm sitting here being like, Garfield's the best. Garfield's so good.
I love it when he hates Mondays. I love it when he tortures John. I love how he hates Odie for being a dumb dog.
Well, Odie is a dumb dog. Okay,
That's true. That is very true. That's peak character development.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
To be honest, I really don't know much about this comic series. I have seen a couple of panels here and there, and it looks pretty much ripped straight out of a Lightfield comic, which means it is bad.
Oh, it's fine, Mike. Well, no, it's probably not, but whatever. We
yeah, exactly.
It's fine.
It is worth noting that this is actually a first-party Sega game. While it was not developed by Sega themselves, Sega of America did indeed publish it.
Really?
Yeah. It was it's hard to say because there's no one who's stated their specific strategy. But one thing that Sega did is develop a lot of games suited more towards like Western, especially American tastes for the Sega Genesis, and I think this game was one of those attempts.
It honestly is a pretty good-looking game in most places, not always.
Yeah, it's slightly janky looking at parts, but the sprite work, especially for a Western game, is pretty decent. This is not a good game, but I don't think it's the worst game either. That's why it's round one. The controls are pretty responsive. The game definitely has some cheap hits here and there. There are some very frustrating sections, like the minecart section, which every player will encounter. And there's just some jank and unfair bits here and there. So I feel like this is a good, solid round one pick. It's butts, but it's... And it has some mean parts, but it's like we're easing you into it.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, all of the players are ready. Everybody get your superhero emotes, your rock emotes,
your Garfield emotes.
Yeah, Garfield.
I mean, Garfield is a comic.
Yeah, it's a manga.
And a manga, even.
A Western manga. Okay, I'm doing the countdown. Spam your emotes right now. Best of luck to the players, because as soon as we start, it's going to be action.
Yep.
I think. I hope so. Yeah, so many cats. Okay. Are they allowed to choose either character?
Yes, I told them they could choose either character. So I personally think the guy is better because he has more health and does more damage. But Faizu, when he played this during Crusoe 3, said that he had better luck with the girl because she has more range. So that's really up for debate. They're playing on the default difficulty,
okay,
which is medium, which isn't too unforgiving, but they do have limited continues, which they'll probably find out either during the minecart stage or shortly after it, because you get 8 continues, which feels like unlimited continues, until it's suddenly not.
Oh, yeah, I remember because Essentia played this game back in the previous tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
And
this is a 5B match.
What stage are you most excited for, Mike?
I'm definitely excited for the minecart.
Oh, so am I.
Because it's going to dunk on players real bad.
Oh, it's so good. Everybody here. Yeah, be excited for minecarts. Be excited for all of this, actually, because it's a weird game. Why do you shoot projectiles out of your axe?
Yeah, that's limited ammo. the projectiles you shoot out of your weapons. So the players probably don't realize that yet, but they'll realize it soon enough.
Oh yeah.
And it is worth noting that Xelixon has some lore for us. So the characters, the main characters are the Ex-Mutants. They were cured and now fight other former humans.
So I think that I need to know some of the basic functions of this game. How many continues? Are there continues? Are there lives? I think lives are at the bottom.
Yes, you have. Yeah, the lives is the L times number at the bottom of the screen. I don't remember if 0 is a number in this game. It's been a little while since I've played this game, and there are continues. They're playing on medium difficulty, which grants 8 continues. So it feels like they have unlimited continues until they suddenly run out after continuing a lot.
Oh no! Do you think that's going to happen?
Yes. If nothing else, the minecart stage is going to drain a lot of their continues.
For sure.
Now, I don't think the first couple of stages are going to drain continues too badly. The most they're probably going to get trolled by is some of the traps and maybe missing the battery that you need for your cyborg mentor, whose name I can look up because I gave them the name.
By the way, Much Paranoid is on to the next stage. They are just plowing past those skulls and trying not to get crushed by this. All right.
Yeah, exactly. And this game has some pretty sick voice clips. I think the guys are better than the girls, but they both have some pretty funny voice clips.
Are they able to switch characters like after one game over when they continue, or
no? Once you choose a character, you're committed to that character until you fully game over.
See, sort of. Oh, geez. What I would probably do is just try a little bit of both, just to see if there is any difference. Like, yeah, it's a little bit of time investment at the very beginning, but at the same time, I want to make sure, like, if anybody has a significant advantage, I want to know. Then again, I know GMs generally try to give information out if certain characters do have an advantage, which I feel is a good practice to do. That way it's not just the lottery.
When I gave this out in Ku5ogrande, I said that the guy was the better character, but Faizu said that he had better luck with the girl, so I just told them use whoever you prefer. I personally thought the guy was... I just said, I think the guy's a better character, but Faizu had better luck with the girl, so we have 50-50 right now. 2
people following you, 2 following Faizu. That's an interesting bet.
I know, right? And and you know what? Everyone's progress is pretty equal at the moment right now. Like, no one's really super far ahead.
Look, Mike, I feel like I gotta cheer for Faizu's side. GB0 and the Time Walker are both destroying this. They're both in level 2, getting past some of the saws here. Oh, watch out, Cheese Viking.
No, don't run into flames.
Cheese Viking.
Damage boosting is like almost never worth it in this game because your iframes are so short.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Hey, guess who the first person was to finish it? Yeah, that's right, the lady.
No, except
oh, that's...
Yeah, Time Walker didn't collect the power cells. So however, GB0 actually read the message, so GB0 knows what to do, but he'll still have to try to find the power cells.
Yeah, I think, well, Time Walker essentially ran into the same thing. I think all of the players are going to run into that as well,
Yeah, so it's Professor Kildare who needs a cyborg originally programmed to repopulate the planet with the human race. He has recruited 6 courageous individuals and transformed them back into humans. It is this team of Ex-Mutants that have taken on Sluggo and his band of foul miscreants.
I was going to say, there are only a few things you need to do in order to get the human race going again. And I'm pretty sure none of them involve battle axes.
Or cyborgs. But, I mean, it's... You know what? It's their universe. They can write the lore however they want. And Melos is correct. No kink shame.
My power cells.
It is worth noting that the main villain's name is Sluggo, and his
what a crappy name.
And his a brown-nosing assistant is Zygote. I'm not even making that up. That is
Sluggo
his
and
name.
Zygote. See,
yes, it's Zygote.
There's one thing that you need to do in order to
exactly the repopulation theme is everywhere.
Wow.
Stradivarian, to my knowledge, this was not animated, but maybe there's like a pilot out there somewhere that I don't know about for the show, because a lot of like comic books had shows in the early 90s, not just Marvel and DC. So
what I'm seeing is that in this game, your goal is to collect 6 genetically pure samples of DNA?
No, you're actually trying to rescue your comrades. As mentioned with Dr. Kildare, there are 6 Ex-Mutants. You can only pick 2 because the other 4 are captured.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, so you're rescuing your friends who are also the genetically pure samples.
Yeah. I mean, here's the lore they give you. The year is 2055. The genetic and biological weapons used during World War III have turned the world population into mutants and left the landscape in ruins.
Oh no.
Consequently, the masses have taken refuge underground, in the forest, and what's left of the cities.
So they've taken refuge basically anywhere they could go.
Yeah.
So everywhere. They've taken refuge.
I mean, I can give you a copy of the manual if you want.
Sure, send me the link. You can keep going, Mike, though. It's a good story so far. They're just hiding everywhere.
Okay, there you go.
Oh my gosh.
Well, the ruler of the mutants in the region is Sluggo. He is ruthless, evil, and strangely enough, a neatness freak who watches his diet like a hawk. He is also bent on killing all those who look remotely human, namely the Ex-Mutants. Sluggo obtains slaves to labor in his Slug Town by sending raiding expeditions into the neighboring areas.
You can't say Sluggo Town and just move on from that, Mike. I gotta digest this.
I know, there's a lot of lore. I know you're not used to comic books past Garfield, so there's a lot to absorb here.
Yeah, Mondays, am I right? That's all we had as Garfield fans.
Yeah. So he controls the less obedient slaves with the mind control caps, created by his scientist assistant, Zygote.
So good. Oh, yeah, then there's Professor Kildare, and then there's Shannon, who is, I believe, the female in this game.
Correct. She is the female character you can choose.
She tends to be nice to everyone, even her obnoxious teammate, Bud. Wow. That feels really condescending. Right? I'm nice to everyone, even you, Bud.
Exactly. Well, when you rescue Bud, and I don't think any of the players are going to play the text, but if they did, you would recognize why they say even Bud.
Ah, okay. Aykroyd is the jokester of the team. He has an extreme curiosity about the Earth before its destruction. Wow, I wonder what Earth was like when there were trees.
There's trees and more drinkable water.
Wow, isn't Earth interesting? I think
Bud
it is
the youngest in the team. He desperately wants to be the leader and always bites off more than he can chew.
Okay, so...
Tanya loves to tease. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. I was just thinking he hates Shannon.
Tanya loves to tease and uses her looks to get her way. Wow. She's not stupid, but tends to exercise her brains as a last resort. Isn't that kind of something stupid people do? I'm saying, like, she's not stupid, but actually, she's kind of stupid.
Hey, I was thinking of going to the murder house at midnight. Should I use my brains when thinking about? No.
Piper, on the other hand, is the brains of the group. Like Aykroyd, she's interested in all aspects of pre-disaster history.
This part is so dumb that GB0 is trying. Like, I'm so stressed here. Like, is this the right way to do it?
Oh, it is worth noting that Cheese Viking Games is on the boss.
Wow. Very nice. By the way, I'm going to confirm that is the correct way to do it. Oh no, Chibi
Yeah,
Zero!
that is the correct way. Yep.
That's so dumb.
And yeah, as some people were noting in chat, the traps in this game are really fast. Like, they are not very fair at all, and you just have to memorize them. Yeah, for this platform part, you just have to be patient. Like, you have to wait a cycle and then jump on it.
Wasn't there one more character in the manual?
Yes. The leader of the team is Dylan. He's the most cautious and caring of the bunch.
Now, cautious and caring, okay? I'm working on getting this picture up because everybody needs to see what cautious and caring looks like.
I'll tell you, cautious and caring has some fierce eyebrows.
Oh, yeah. And that was Dylan. Let me... Okay, I'm getting it, okay? Cautious and caring, everybody. That is cautious and caring right there. All right. The voice acting is so good.
Yeah. Oh, Liefeld actually did work in this series at one point.
Really?
That makes a lot of sense.
Who's that? Somebody who is really bad at naming characters?
Yes, and just really bad at drawing and writing comics in general, and yet somehow still gets work to this day, and was paid lots. And is very, very notorious for being unable to draw feet. Like, whenever I read a Liefeld comic, I suddenly get this temporary foot fetish because like it's very fascinating how he always tries to obscure the feet so that he doesn't have to draw them.
Okay, I need to look this up.
Yeah, there's a lot of articles about like some of his drawings and how especially, have you seen that Captain America picture where he has the pecs that are like 3 or 4 times the size of like even a bodybuilder's pecs, and they're like super sticking out and everything?
Wait, I feel like I've seen this. Let me look it up. Oh,
yeah, barrel-shaped Captain America.
Pecs.
And
oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh yeah, and yes, Smarmadon, Liefeld also adds pouches to everything. On a not Liefeld note, Cheese Viking has beat the first stage.
Oh my god.
And has rescued Bud. And is on the minecart.
Oh, the minecart. Everybody watch Viking because this is not going to be long-lived.
Yeah, exactly. So, first off, you're going to get hit by everything the first time you do this. Second, even if you're not going to get hit by everything, you're eventually going to fall off because there's you have to jump at parts, and the jumping physics just don't make sense in the minecart.
Yeah, I can't recall what it was. Like, if you jump straight up, you move with the minecart, but as soon as you tap left or right while jumping, you lose momentum.
Yeah, it's something weird like that. It's very strange.
Well, okay, Cheese Viking is actually doing a little bit better than I expected.
Yeah, Cheese Viking's doing really well, actually.
Well, again, Cheese Viking is not making it through, and that's why. Oh, I love it.
Yes, there is a really infamous YouTube video of Stanley just taking the piss out of Liefeld, and it's great. There's the video for anyone who wants to see. But yeah, less honor is correct, and also just the Liefeld style was the style at the time.
Basically, yeah, if he was doing things
overly
on time and
like
quickly,
hyper muscular, you know, hyper hourglass shaped, like
let me
unrealistically so.
Let me just say that as soon as you start drawing too many muscles, you can't go back. It's an addiction. And there are too many artists out there who just, caught the muscle fever. And I'm like, that's not how bodies work. That's not how my body works. Doesn't have all those muscles. Where'd you get yours?
Exactly. I don't think anyone has a 12 or 14 pack.
Oh, geez, Viking. Another death.
I know.
No surprise there. The other three players on the boss
There's so
before the
many
minecart.
gotchas on the minecart. It's so cheap. And this Cheese Viking is also getting acquainted with the jumping. So everyone else is stuck in the boss, who isn't too difficult, but you have to learn the boss's attacks, and you just have to take your time and let all the patterns play out.
Yeah, you do not have much health. It's better to just go slow. Make sure you don't die, because every time you die, it's a full battle again.
Yeah, like even Ackroyd, you can't really face tank that much.
Oh yeah.
That being said,
like some of the minecart deaths
much
that
paranoia is going to the minecart.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I love how this music is like just very Western, like Gems Genesis electro fart. Like it's just very typical, like what you expect out of a Genesis when it comes to music and sounds.
Oh yeah. So which difficulty are they playing on?
They're playing on medium.
Okay, that's the default difficulty. 8 continues, getting the food item adds 2 units of life. You also have special shots, and extra life 2,500 bonus points if you collect 100 coins. Or 25,000 bonus points. It's all about the points, Mike.
Yep, it's all about the points. So yeah, I will say this, the game doesn't really let up after the minecart. Even though there's less insta-deaths and gotchas, there's a lot of just damage spongy enemies later on.
Yeah, I'm noticing that. It definitely... Like, are there any weapon upgrades or anything that makes your weapon do more damage, or are you just pretty much stuck with this damage for the rest of the game?
If you get one of the projectile add-ons that, stacks with your melee damage, otherwise no.
Oh.
Also, PB Doughboy, if they have to continue, they just restart the level.
So I'm looking at the company, by the way, because this was Malibu, the same Malibu that made the Batman Returns game that we had fairly recently. The ones with the turning? Everybody remembers turning, right?
Batman Returns. Oh, the Amiga one?
Oh, no, we didn't have that Batman. Sorry, it looked just like
No, there
is
the Genesis Batman Returns, which, well, I don't want to say too much, but...
Yeah, they did
it's
make
definitely
that
not
one.
good.
I don't think we've had that here. They also made Cliffhanger for the Genesis.
Okay.
And
I think we have had that for
yes.
the Super Nintendo version, which is very similar, so...
Yes, we did. They also did Three Ninjas Kickback. So
which we've had.
All the good stuff. And one version of... They helped with a port of the Smurfs, which we've had on Ku5ogrande.
Yeah, they were big unlicensed stuff. They did not survive the transition to 32-bit.
They really didn't last too long, yeah. A few years in business, and then they're like, nah, we're good. We're good. However, one of the people who worked on this programming also programmed Disney's Toy Story, did James Bond Jr., I guess the titles on Gauntlet 2, out of all things, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, how about Star Trek Deep Space Nine Dominion Wars? All of the classics.
Oh, wow. So we haven't had Deep Space Nine, but we had a stage in the Gauntlet, and that stage was pretty butts.
That was hilarious. I loved it.
All right, so Time Walker is on the minecart. So technically, Time Walker is tied with everyone, with the other two people at the minecart stage.
Basically, whoever beats the Minecraft
Stage. Hey, that's stage 2, but yeah, whoever beats the minecart stage first is in the lead.
Yes, and I would go ahead and say that. I don't know. Would I prefer to be in this mine or a Minecraft mine?
So Essentia says she remembers this game, which means she must really
She
fondly
loves the
remember this
minecart
section.
Oh yeah.
Wow, Time Walker taking some risky jumps, but hasn't died for it, so... Yeah, it's stages like this that make me prefer Ackroyd over Shannon, just because being able to take 2 more hits is a pretty big deal in this game.
Yeah, honestly, just a little bit of health goes a long way. Oh! Time Walker into the pit.
That's interesting, Paul SSS, because in the 90s was also when Marvel was going bankrupt. Like, you know, as invincible and as huge as Marvel, you know, Disney is today, back in the 90s, or maybe it was the early 2000s, Marvel was actually really hurting for money.
Really?
Yes.
Why so?
And they were actually going to go bankrupt. And the reason why that's relevant is because Marvel ended up buying Malibu Comics, which was also the division that, you know, made all these games.
Ugh. Yeah, I mean, that would do it.
Yes, the Lupine one. That was when Marvel sold all their movie rights to everyone, which is one of the reasons why Fox had the rights to X-Men Fantastic Four for so long, because the contract was so favorable to Fox and so unfavorable to Marvel.
Yeah, I can imagine. Oh my gosh, I got so tired of the superhero movies, but Cheese Viking Games has not gotten tired of this. Moving on to the stage after the minecart. That is
very nice.
Really impressive.
It only took like 3 or 4 continues, so they probably have at least 1 or 2 continues to spare.
Yeah, but we probably are going to see at least one player go back to the beginning.
Oh,
Not as big of a deal because the levels are a lot of trial and error, and once you know how to get through the various places, you're going to be able to do it again. Yeah,
exactly. I will say this, that being said, even if you know how to deal with this next mid-boss that Cheese Viking is going to encounter, it's still a really dumb mid-boss to fight.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember what it is, but I remember that... Okay. We're waiting. I want no spoilers, because I just remember it's bad, but I can't remember how bad. GB0 is... Like, I think GB0 is going to get it soon. Taking a lot of damage from the projectiles, though. And the enemy's health is on the right side. Like, it goes down so slow. Why does it take forever to kill this dude?
Oh, the first boss?
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything's just a damage sponge in this game. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, that's probably a good enough answer right there.
Be more patient.
Yep.
And yeah, Marvel in the 1990s is pretty sad. People are talking comics in the chat.
Yeah.
I mean, DC would survive regardless, just because it's a tax write-off for Time Warner. And I think it's DC has been a part of Time Warner for a long time, including in the 90s. But yeah, Marvel in the 1990s, you know, up until they were bought by Disney, was its own company for a long time.
Yeah.
And a rather crowded house is correct about Marvel 1990s is kind of sad to look on because their top talent did leave. At the very least, Chris Claremont left, who's the guy who's most well known for turning the X-Men from like a fairly like B or C tier comic to like a best-selling comic in the 70s and 80s.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing how just 1 or 2 people can make so much of a difference in saving a company's life. Oh my gosh, okay. So right now, Cheese Viking Games is on the boss, or the mini boss of this stage. Melty Belly Man. I really don't like him. Why is his belly melting?
Yeah, this boss really sucks because it's just really hard to get in hit safely, especially since the ground below him disappears. So yeah, this trap that Cheese is using is not going to work. You're just going to take too much damage.
Okay. Yeah, and the platforms eventually disappear, right? Or is it just those platforms under him that disappear?
I think there's another section that disappears a little bit further to the left. Eventually.
Oh my gosh, yeah, this fight is really annoying.
And to Pistol, there's a big difference between what Chris Claremont did for the X-Men and what Bendis did for the Avengers, is that everyone likes what Chris Claremont did for X-Men, not everyone likes what Bendis did for the Avengers.
Aha. Ooh, bringing up drama.
I know, right?
Wow.
But yeah, 90s Marvel was bad, mostly.
Yeah, I think that Chad is bringing up why this guy is difficult to dodge, and it's sort of the random occasional fireball that pops out in...
And the timing's not very consistent either.
Yeah.
And like even the spread pattern, even though it's like mostly fixed, like there's that random stray fireball that just comes out to hit you.
Yep, sometimes you are not going to be able to dodge. Oh my gosh, GB0 is so close. Mike, we're going to see another person get to the mic card.
GB, GB's on it. Okay, so we were paying so much attention to Cheese video games that it turns out that Much Paranoia is on the same boss and seems to be having a little bit more success against the boss.
Yeah, GB0 quickly glancing through some of the text there, but was that a full game over?
It might be.
I think
it
so.
Might be a full game over.
Oh, I'm a little bit surprised that GB0 is not typing in Discord right now, because I would be like, what happened? Because of how many times I was able to continue up to this point. Like, it still is not a Golgo 13 level of BS. And by the way, Ascension's kids,
the 56 lives or whatever, and then you die, which doesn't even make sense. It's like, why not just give the player
52 lives because it's 13 times 4, and it's also the length of an anime season. And so technically each life that you have is one episode. That means that if you beat the game in one life, you've effectively killed the entire series, you know, because nobody's going to be watching it. It's just one episode. Yeah, I'm glad that we're getting these bosses right now. Honestly, you know, just watching how...
Cheese video games beat the boss, but almost died when the boss was exploding, because the little, like, spew that the boss, you know, shoots out when it's dying can hurt you.
Oh, yeah, it can. I forgot about that. Oh, my gosh, Mike. This boss is so perfect.
I know, right? Like, it is the embodiment of Ku5ogrande. It even looks like a big pile of Ku5ogrande.
It kind of does, yeah. Also, I'd like to point out that this is the hardest boss in the game so far, and he doesn't move.
I know, right? And technically, he only has one attack. He just, like, it's just random. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, it's just the one or two stray fireballs. Oh, Much Paranoia. Slipping off the edge. Oh, no. Ooh, yeah. Okay, the guy's sound effects are pretty good, Mike.
Exactly.
See, actually, the good thing with GB0 starting over is that now, when they get to the stage, when he gets there, he'll be able to just grind out several attempts.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is that GB0 has barely touched the minecart, so he doesn't really know what's going to be going on there, and he's going to lose at least like 3 or 4 continues to the minecart.
Yeah, you're probably right, but maybe he realized that the benefit of having more health would be useful, or just decide to go with the dude anyway. I think it's going to pay off.
I think it's going to pay off too. I personally don't see Cheese Video Games switching after he game overs. I know he's really close to game over. Like, he can't have more than 1 or 2 continues left.
Yeah, you have to be right. Ooh, GB0 taking a quick death and talking about his mutant grandmother? Was that what I saw? Like,
I think when you die a lot, they're like, come on, like, mutant grandmother can do better than this or something like that. Or, like, they just make some stupid, comic book style comment.
Those Ex-Mutants, they're so witty.
Yeah, that 7-year-old wit. The sub-Garfield level wit.
They didn't lose the superpower of making grandma laugh.
Also, Paul SSS bringing up a super old meme with the Bioforce ape edited picture.
Oh, I feel like I saw this.
Okay, it looks like Much Paranoia might have game overed. Yep, the Much Paranoia has game overed. And Cheese needs to get the power cells to beat this stage. It still continues after the caves.
Oh no! Of course there are power cells. Cheese is not happy.
And the power cell is in a really stupid location in this stage. It's like you have to do some searching for platforms.
Like,
it's really dumb.
You have to get to the end of the stage before you get the power cell, though, right?
I don't think that's the case, but you have to deliberately go out of your way to find the power cell in this stage.
Okay.
It's like...
I love that in a race setting because they don't want to go searching for
you see that platform to the left of Cheese?
Oh, it's there.
I think that's where it is. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's where it is.
I forgot how dumb
it's in a
this
real.
was.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's in a really stupid location.
Yeah, that's really dumb. I don't like it.
That's part of the Ku5ogrande joy. Whether it's cheap hits or dumb level design or you get your Kuso filling.
The mouse just comboed Much Paranoia, and Much Paranoia opting to reset.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think Much Paranoia was trying out Shannon, and I think Much Paranoia is resetting because they want to go back to Acro, which honestly I think is the better pick.
I think so. I mean, we've got 3 out of 4 players.
And the thing is, once you know the stages, they're gonna make progress quickly back to where they were. Okay, so what Cheese needs to do is to fall down that pit, if I remember correctly, and then go a little bit to the left. I can't remember. Or maybe they already collected the cell. I wasn't paying attention.
I don't think so, because doesn't it count as an item they have to carry around?
Xelixon is correct. Cheese did find a way to abuse lives and health. You can make items respawn with the power cell. I guess checkpoint or trigger.
Cheese just found the power cell, by the way, which means that you'll be heading to the end of the stage and hoping to make a good amount of progress through the next stage. Like, we're probably going to see a full game over in just a little bit.
Yeah, so these guys are real jerks. They take so many hits to kill.
The Golem Wolves, or whatever those are?
Yeah, those Golem Dinos. Yeah, they have super long reach. They take, I don't know how many, they take at least 5 or 6 hits. They take way too many hits.
Yeah, I mean, just going through them works, I suppose.
Yeah, the problem is there's so many that you can't do that for all of them.
Yeah. Like, if you were hypothetically speedrunning this game, you would probably want to plan out exactly where you need to fight and where you don't.
All right, well,
Yeah.
Cheese is the final game over.
There we go.
And has definitely made the most progress. So now players are just trying to catch up back to where they were.
He's going to try out Shannon for a second. He's probably going to notice the health really quickly, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wonder, like, you say that you like the guy better just due to having extra health. You know, Shannon has the additional range. That's
Extra
cool.
health, and I think he does more damage. Not 100% sure about that. And also, I think his jumping attack is better. Like, the axe swing is better than Shannon's nunchuck swing when jumping.
Uh-huh.
And it's also worth noting that the task, and I think the speedruns also use Ackroyd.
It's worth noting that everybody thinks he's the best. I see how it is, Mike.
Except Faizu.
Except Faizu, who is apparently wrong in this case. Well, Faizu, you're not wrong. If you're listening to this VOD, I agree with you, sure. But you know,
you're not even confident with agreeing with him. You're like, I agree with you. Sure.
But you know, the guy with the axe, he's pretty cool too, right?
Percentage of playing up both sides.
Yeah, you gotta hedge your bets, okay?
So there is actually a little bit more lore to this game in the instruction manual, if you want to hear it.
Yes, I do.
While attacking one of Sluggo's outposts, Bud, Tanya, Piper, and Dylan were captured. Sluggo is keeping them alive in the hopes of capturing the remaining X-Mutants and then killing them all at once. As Ackroyd or Shannon, it's up to you to rescue your comrades. You will have to wrestle hideous mutations and tackle myriads of traps until you come face to face with Sluggo. There is, however, a second problem. The power cells in the lab are nearly empty, and Kildare needs them to keep himself and the computers running. Without them, he will cease to exist. There is a power cell hidden in each platform stage. You must find it before you can go to the next stage.
Okay. You gotta find it, Mike. You gotta find the power cell. Why do I still have that thing open? Sorry, it was the manual from the Auditants. I'm like, this isn't at all.
Yeah, there's also the back of the box, which is pretty great too. Destroy the mutant menace, Earth 2055. You and 5 others are Ex-Mutants, reclaimed humans brought back from genetic disaster. Now Lord Mutant Sluggo wants to destroy you. 4 of your comrades have been captured as bait to lure you to Sluggo's lair. Are you tough enough to save them all? Slash and bomb through 11 levels of wasteland that calls itself Slugtown. Beat Ackroyd, master of the battle axe, slicing a path through radioactive war zones. As she-warrior Shannon, smash the Scourge with nunchucks and homing orbs. This time you're more than a mere mortal. You're an Ex-Mutant.
I'm not an ex-mutant, Mike. I was always a mutant. And I still am. At least that's what Mother tells me.
But, Cam Lone Mouse Wolf, this was actually the first time I tried to give out this game during this Ku5ogrande, and it wasn't vetoed. So I actually haven't been trying to give this game out for a fairly long time.
That's cool. It's just that he loves this game, okay?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
There's
as someone who has been
oh
who's experienced both sides of mutanthood, as in being a mutant and an ex-mutant, I empathize with these people.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Cheese Viking restarting or finding out the power cells are empty and
so
back.
Time Walker has made the most progress. It's probably made the quickest progress back to the minecart, but then immediately falls off once the minecart stage starts.
Yeah, I mean, so it goes. It's a minecart stage. it's butts. It's just bound to be butts. Much Paranoia, by the way, is getting back into this rather quickly. Currently fighting the Hulk. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either. It's like the Hulk with... It's not even a spear. I don't know what you call that weapon. It's kind of like a polearm.
Beefcake, that's his name. Beefcake, one of Sluggo's underlings, stands between you and Bud's rescue.
Well, I guess it's Beefcake. That's such a 90s villain.
It's so good. And also, I love that the manual calls him an elusive boss.
Yeah.
All he does is he transports from, like, to one of 4 locations. That's it. So elusive.
Exactly. He's not very elusive, to be honest. He just kind of sits there. Or stands there.
I like this music, kind of.
Yeah.
It's so... Oh, the voice acting. I always forget it's there until it happens.
Yeah, I know, right?
GB0 falling to his death. Well, that just happens when you're on a minecart. It's... Oh my gosh. Did you see how Time Walker died? Mike, that was so stupid. Time Walker jumped, managed to avoid the spikes above him, and then walked to the left, touched the spikes, and fell down through the minecart. It was beautiful poetry in motion.
This minecart stage is so good. There's a reason why we've used it as a gauntlet challenge before.
Oh, yeah. I also... I still love that Essentia ended up getting this game to play. Like, the strange thing is that this game is definitely jank, but it's a lot of fun at the same time.
It is fun.
I think it's perfect for a round 1.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. If you want to, like, if you haven't competed yet, or you just want to practice, like, some Ku5ogrande games, and if you want something that's not too bad and not too frustrating, you know, aside from this minecart stage, I would honestly recommend this one. It's a good one to practice on.
It's very easy to have a game that after you play for 5 minutes,
very
be
playable.
like, well, I could do that. But a lot of games when you're practicing, you know, just sticking it out for the full hour in order to get a full feel for what you needed to learn, maybe take some notes about things that you realized, you know, that is something that can be helpful.
So it's worth noting that Time Walker is on the forest level.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Time Walker is doing great here.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that Time Walker has not switched to Ackroyd. Time Walker is a Shannon loyalist.
See? Yeah, who isn't? Oh, the great Ku5ogrande. Oh, my name's Ku5ogrande. I'm so important that the guy's better. Yeah.
You know what? I would, you know, I'd say this is slander or defamation, but this is honestly just what I expect from you at this point. So it's really just how our conversations go at this point.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm for Sunshine. I like to make voices like this to make fun of Ku5ogrande.
Yeah, that's because that's how he sounds. Did you hear? It was virtually identical.
You're not wrong. Okay, so Time Walker is on the Kuso boss, the literal Kuso boss. Ooh, this boss looks like it's going to be a little tougher for Shannon because her nunchucks do not have as much reach when you're jumping, even though they have more reach on the ground. However, Time Walker does have a good strat, except a random shot is occasionally hitting him because this boss is, well, literal Kuso.
I'd say a big one.
Yeah, true. No, I said literal.
Oh, a literal. I thought you said he's a little.
No.
So
Much Paranoia has a really good strat. Unfortunately, Much Paranoia has run out of items, so
but
not quite able to get past the boss.
I don't believe they've gotten a game over yet, though, as chat has said. Like, it could still be doable.
No, I think Much game over earlier, but I don't think they've lost many continues getting up to
or that's what I mean. They
were.
haven't lost any of the continues here.
Yeah, so they're making really good progress, which is funny because Cheese video games made the best progress so far out of the competitors, but Much Paranoia is doing a much better job of, making it back to where they were.
Oh, yeah. I'm still enjoying this music. At least, like, here's the deal, Mike. I've talked about music that I can't enjoy listening to for over 10 minutes. I feel like this is one that is tolerable enough. It's good.
Yeah, this is quite the loop. The so Cheese. I'm sorry. Much Paranoia is almost where Cheese Viking games was. So
yeah, what have you been saying this entire match? I was like, maybe you know more about them than I do, but I think they're
no,
Viking.
I just wasn't paying very good attention to their names. But I'm not sure if Paranoia has collected the power cell yet.
I don't believe so. Much Paranoia running to the left. The power cell is
honestly
pretty much
the
straight
power
down.
cell is in such a stupid spot. You're almost never going to collect on your first.
At least it makes it really difficult to accidentally, or not to accidentally, to get back up to where you started in this game. It makes it, I think, impossible to get up there. So
it's worth noting that Time Walker has made the same amount of progress as Paranoia has. So there is potential for some lead changes during these last 12 minutes.
Much Paranoia found it.
Nice.
That is actually really huge. I think Much Paranoia may be able to pass everybody and move into first place. I'm trying to think, who was it who managed to get to the next stage?
Cheese Viking.
Cheese.
Yeah, it's interesting. Cheese is sticking with Shannon. I guess is either okay with Shannon or even prefers Shannon more than Aykroyd.
Yeah, well, I could also see Cheese Viking just being like, well, it's mostly the same. I just need to get back into this match, and not reset one more time.
So, Much Paranoia fortunately has the daggers going into this stage, so taking a lot less hits than Cheese was going into the stage. And as long as they make it past the second drop here, that will put them in first.
Yeah, I think I really like the mist on this stage, Mike.
Yep.
It's nifty. It's a nifty little thing.
It is nifty. And I think that puts Much Paranoia in first.
Very nice. Much Paranoia definitely had a good push this time.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Much Paranoia has plenty of lives and continues. So we could see more progress from them. And Time Walker is also on the same stage. So we can also see a lot of progress from Time Walker too. So we're definitely going to have at least two lead changes. So Cheese, who was originally in first, is going to go down to third. Unless he can make it back to where he was quickly.
I mean, yes, to third. GB0, though, is on the waterfall stage as well. Cheese Viking could technically be out of it if GB0 is able to figure this level out quickly.
Yeah, it is a tough level to figure out quickly, thanks to the literal Kuso boss.
Hey, Time Walker is on to the weird donkey golems, or whatever the crap they are.
And Paranoia is on the mid-boss here. Actually, this might be the stage boss, I can't remember. But this boss is pretty butts. because it's just so hard to dodge.
I remember this boss.
Yep. This is where I think both Essentia and Garby got stuck during the match in Ku5ogrande 3.
I believe you're right, yeah.
And there's a good reason why. This boss is just butts.
Yeah, I like Batman, though. Kind of a cute little bat here. Cute big bat. Nothing little about this bat. Definitely not the kind of bat you want to meet, you know? Eat you.
And Time Walker also on the bat boss.
Holy cow, 2 people on the... Oh, this is great. Yeah, Time Walker is definitely in second at this point. Much paranoia... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so we're going to have to watch life bars now. For the boss on both screens.
At least there is a life bar. Hey, Time Walker getting some good damage right from the beginning, but unfortunately the bat does a lot of damage. GB0 getting trapped by these mole men or whatever they are. I don't know. Kind of creepy.
I don't know. Maybe they're the mutants. Who are the humans?
They're the full mutants.
Ex-Mutants.
I mean, did it affect all of the planet's life? The whole nuclear stuff? Actually, yeah, if there was nuclear stuff, it definitely did. So
there was nuclear stuff. Yep.
By the way, if people didn't notice, some of the levels do actually have a timer. Not all of them. But per the game manual, there is nuclear radiation in that area, and as soon as your resistance to it wears off, you just take damage and die.
Yep. So, Much Paranoia doing pretty well against the boss right now. Might see a clear. Has half health while the boss has less than half health, playing it very patiently, which is smart.
Oh, Mike, I just saw that this game, out of all the games that could possibly have it, has a sewer level.
Yep. Oh, the sewer level's real bad, too.
Oh.
We might see it. The sewer level is in the next set of levels. If Much Paranoia can make quick work of this bat, we might see a sewer level.
It's true. Before that is what's called the Rapids. And I'm unsure... Well, I know what a rapid is.
The Rapids is another auto-scroller. If I remember it not being too difficult.
Okay.
It's nothing like the minecart.
The minecart's so rude.
It's so rude. And yeah, Lizstar gets it. This game is a Kuso classic.
Much Paranoia is actually doing pretty well on this bat right now. Yeah, Essentia, you were stuck on this bat for, like, the rest of your playthrough, right?
Yeah, I don't remember anyone getting past this bat in the Kuso free match.
It's a bad bat.
It is. It's a really dumb boss.
Okay, Time Walker getting some good hits. Honestly, both Much Paranoia and Time Walker are doing really well with this boss.
Yeah.
Time Walker, how did you not die? You literally got hit in the face by one of the projectiles and it didn't kill you?
Much Paranoia defeated the boss.
Very nice. Much Paranoia moves into first. I think this is the most of the game that we've seen now on Ku5ogrande.
You would be correct.
You know, I always expect players to be better this year than they were last year. Honestly, with more people coming in, we have more people who are just surprisingly good and just destroy certain games. And yeah, Much Paranoia had a very good push and figured out that boss's cycle. Which
speaking of figuring out the boss, Cheese is doing really well against the boss right now.
The Time Walker?
Sorry, Time Walker.
It's good to say the boss of the minecart? Yeah. Right there.
I mean, the minecart is quite a boss, but it's a different sort of boss.
GB0.
You know, it's kind of like a Valis 3 sliding boss.
Oh my gosh, that was so dumb. GB0, by the way, has the chance to move from 4th to 3rd. If GB0 can beat this boss and then manage to beat this stage.
Alright, so we need to look at both Time Walker and Much Paranoia's screen because they're both in the same area.
Oh, I love it.
So
yeah.
they have both made the same amount of progress, roughly. I think Paranoia has made a little more than Time Walker, but they're both in the same area, so we can definitely see a lot of lead changes at this point.
Was that a game over for GB0?
It must have been.
It looks like it was. That means that GB0 unfortunately will not be able to move up to third place. He'll be taking fourth today.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it looks like third and fourth are solidified. Yes. However, first and second are definitely...
It is a race.
Exactly. Oh, speaking of that, Paranoia is on the boss of stage 2.
Ooh! Much Paranoia, taking a death, but dealing a few bars of damage as well. Like that is extremely helpful. I think that Time Walker may possibly have the advantage going on to this boss. I'm not completely sure, but honestly, Time Walker, I believe has been conserving more of the continues than Much Paranoia. I don't know.
It's hard to say. I think they both... I don't think either one of them will permanently game over at this point.
I mean, yeah, we only have 2.5 minutes, so... You're going down. And then it's a down.
I love that line.
It's a good line.
It is a good line.
It's not inaccurate.
So, Paranoia is doing really well against the boss so far. Has half of his health, and the boss has less than half of its health.
Yeah.
Time Walker for going for more of an aggressive strat.
Unfortunately, that was a death. Not a huge deal, though. I think that there's one last shot at this boss, and as long as Time Walker can use these items effectively, that'll make a big difference. Yeah,
already using the items effectively has done a ton of damage to the boss.
Now,
doing a good job of dodging the bombs, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, kind of safely zoning the boss out. I really like this strategy. Hopefully, they can keep it up. Uh-oh, they're down to 1 health.
But...
Oh, this is so close.
The boss is dead.
In first.
Time Walker is in first, indeed, and we have 1.5 minutes left. Much Paranoia could possibly beat this boss still. Nope, that is a death, and I don't think there's quite enough time.
It's an auto-scroller, so Time Walker is in the lead, no matter what.
Well, I mean, if you die...
That's true.
I mean, that's sort of what happens in a lot of these video games, Mike. You die and you have to go
That is
back.
True, that is true. Well, I guess I'll have to take back what I said, because it looks like Shannon is the superior character.
Yeah. Wow, Mike. You made all of the original players play on the hardest character of the game.
I guess so. Ku5ogrande was right. This has been a good match. A lot of lead changes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Much Paranoia taking one more death. That is definitely solidifying it. Time Walker takes first, Much Paranoia second, GB0 third, and Cheese Viking Games fourth. We'll go ahead and let the last little bit play out.
No, it'd be GB0 fourth.
Wait, what did I say?
I think you said Cheese Viking was fourth.
Oh yeah, Cheese is definitely third.
Yeah.
I just had a very dumb if that's what I said.
That's okay. I've only been mispronouncing everyone's names at least 50 times, so...
Oh no, I stopped it a second early. Mike. Mike, I'll never be able to do it. But that's time. That's it. Oh my gosh, what a wonderful match. You know, it was extremely surprising to me how well the bottom two players did. Time Walker making it to an auto-scroller on the river, taking first. Much Paranoia just on the boss right before that, taking second. Cheese Viking having made it almost to the end of the Mud Golem stage, taking third. GB0 getting to the Mud Golem, goes in fourth place. Yeah, Mike, what else? What do you think of how they did?
I thought they did really great. I mean, both Much Paranoia and Time Walker made it farther than the players in Ku5ogrande did, and there were some strong players like Garby and your sister, so They definitely did really well. It was a really good match because I was honestly expecting, Cheese Viking to take it because they made the most progress the earliest, and I thought they would, be able to make it back to where they were really fast. But that ended up not being the case.
Okay, I hear Time Walker. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hi.
Hey. Just using push to talk is definitely going to work fine here. Seriously, congratulations. We've had this game once before, and you passed where everybody made it there, and they were strong players. So what are your thoughts about this game?
Well, actually, I didn't find it as bad as I thought it could be. I mean, it was pretty... Well, I would say it made a lot of sense. The controls were fine, but there were like a lot of curveballs that the game likes to throw at you and likes to punish you.
There's a lot of cheap hits and gotchas.
Yeah, exactly. Especially sometimes it just doesn't give you the right signals. Like I noticed that some spikes are like breakable, but like the falling ones, which I've had a lot of trouble with, but some like the moving one aren't breakable at all. So this confused me a lot.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I do think that the inconsistency is definitely unfair in multiple places, because if you'd been following the rules of the game, you'd know what to do when something popped up, but then bam, different, you just gotta deal with it. But
yeah, especially those arrows that are being shot, like you just walk around and then suddenly you get attacked by it.
And there's arrows everywhere.
Yes, exactly.
It's constant. So what happened in the match was you were actually third or fourth for a pretty long time, but you were the second person to make it to the Bat Boss, and then you took the lead in the last 2 or 3 minutes by beating the second boss first.
Yeah, it was really close.
Yeah.
Like I love seeing lead changes.
Yeah, you had a really good strategy against the second boss, just unloading all of the bombs on it, and then just using the projectiles from your weapon to take care of it more safely.
Yeah, I noticed like after I game over, somehow it clicked. So I was like trying a bit more, especially with the bad boss, which I noticed, well, let me try to duck, maybe it helps, and somehow it worked. So yeah,
I'd say go with that. Well, thank you so much, Mike. Thank you for choosing this game. Time Walker, are you streaming anything these days? Anything that happens that people should know about?
No, not at all. I'm absolutely not a streamer. I just heard about Ku5ogrande, and I thought, well, I mean, I can play bad games, and I don't have to feel bad if I'm playing badly. Sign me up.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, honestly, nobody ever knows how they're going to do until they actually step up and do it. So, fantastic job. Oh, I think that's all that I have. I do want to give one final reminder to everybody watching. The Hay Fever speedrunning tournament is going to be happening probably starting in a week or two. I don't imagine Easter weekend. So it should be in about 2 weeks. Sign up by tonight, and all you have to do is get a run finished, even if it's not a great run. Get it submitted. We're going to be taking the 16 people who have the top times. Also, be sure to check out twitch.tv/licenseathon. That is a small little marathon that's going to be happening about licensed games, which are right up our alley. I mean, we just had Ex-Mutants.
Yeah, that is a license.
That is a license.
A Malibu Comics license.
Yeah, and so that would actually be a game that you could use here. Oh, Audifence as well, licensed.
That is true.
Wow.
It doesn't have to be U.S. license. It can be a license from any country.
Yeah, Tempestrel has been one of the people arranging that, so much love to you, Tempestrel. And now I feel like we should go and raid somebody, but who? I'm thinking, you know what? There's this guy who I follow who's an artist, and he's been drawing in kid pics lately. He's a furry guy over there, and his pics are hilarious. He swears a bunch, so if you don't like swearing, don't hop over there. But let's go raid him, because artists almost never get raided. Do we have a good raid message?
Ooh,
Easy.
How about we love bunnies? Let's do that. We love bunnies, because he uses a bunny on the internet. Go. Go raid. Thank you very much. I will see you all tomorrow for more matches. Take care, Mike. See you, Time Walker.
Thank you for having me.
later, everyone.
Later.
Bye.